Hello everybody, this is Jason Harmon with Top Line Pickleball, and we are going to be going over the serve today. Now, per the rules in pickleball, the serve is the only way that you can actually make points. So it's really important to get a few free points off of your serve. Now, one of the rules is you cannot make contact with the paddle above your wrist. So that means we can't do this, we can't do this. We have to have the paddle when we make contact. The ball needs to be below our wrist when we make contact. So we can't be like this, we have to be like this. Now, one of the rules have changed as well. Before, you needed to hit the ball before it bounces. Now you can actually let the ball bounce, but as long as you make contact with the ball and the paddle below your wrist, it's fine. Consistency is the biggest part about any game. The only way that you can be consistent is have a consistent swing. So what I mean by that is, if my forehand in pickleball is like this and like this, that means I want to hit that shot like this every single time. I don't want to change it. I don't want to have a bigger take back. I don't want to have a lower take back. I don't want to have a different follow through. I need to have the same consistent swing every time. So when we talk about the serve, we have time to think about it. We have time to put the ball where we want it and then execute a consistent shot. Now, when I talk about consistency, this wrist needs to be pretty solid. It can't be flopping all over the place. It needs to be a solid type of a shot. It's more of an arm shot than a wrist shot. So I'll demonstrate. Watch how solid I keep this part. See, by keeping it solid, I can put this ball pretty much in the court almost every time. When we talk about the full swing of the serve, we just talked about keeping the wrist solid, which is probably the most important thing. But we have actually three parts of the shot. We have the take back, we have the contact point, and we have the follow through. Now, when we talk about tennis has a much bigger take back, contact point maybe a little bit further out in front of us, and then the follow through is a full follow through. In pickleball, it's a little shorter on both sides. So when we take the paddle back, it's not this big take back or this big take back, it's more here, and that's it. When we make contact, our ball is going wherever our paddle is pointed. So if my paddle is pointing up, that ball is going to go up. If my paddle is pointing down, it's probably going to go in the net. If I make contact to in front of me, meaning I swing and I catch the ball too early, the ball is going to go too far left. If I make contact too late, that means the ball is going to go too far right. So really, every time you hit a shot, you should know why you missed it. It's most of the times the racket angle. And then the follow through is a acceleration through the contact point, and then you want to let the paddle slow down naturally. So it's not a full follow through, but it's not a short follow through. It's sort of a let the paddle slow down naturally, because that ball is coming back pretty fast. You don't want to have this big, huge follow through, and then you're not ready for the next ball. So here's when we put it all together. So we have the take back, we have the contact point, and we have the follow through. Notice how my wrist and my forearm stay pretty solid. I may rotate my forearm just a little bit, but there's no riskiness involved. The riskiness will give you more power, but it will give you a lot less control. So once you practice that consistent take back, keeping the wrist and forearm pretty solid through the shot, and then following through and relaxing on the follow through and feel like you can keep it really the same every time, then you're ready to vary your serve. You see, my normal serve is like this. It's just a normally high serve, little top spin, firm but not too firm. I could do that all day long, but I don't want to. I want to actually mix up my serve. So I might have most of my serves like that, but then once in a while, so I'll have most of my serve like this, Once in a while, I may just go for a little harder serve. And then here's on the other side of the spectrum, I may go for a higher, slower serve. So when they're expecting that hard, deep, fast, top-spinning serve, you give them something like this. And then they try to overhit it because it's too slow, or they just don't know what's coming next. So the more that you keep your opponent thinking that what kind of serve's coming, the better off you're going to be. The more you get them concentrating on you and what you're going to do, the less they're actually concentrating on the ball. And that's a good thing. I'm gonna change the angle and put it over there. Okay, so I'm on the other side of the court. Hopefully you can see the angle of the ball and the height of the ball and the depth of the ball coming at you. So here's my normal serve. Very consistent, very solid, deep enough and hard enough where they're not going to be able to attack me too easy, but a good player should be able to attack that a little bit. Then once in a while, you want to go with a little harder serve. So here's my regular serve. Here's my harder serve. So just to throw their timing off a little bit. Okay, regular serve, harder serve. Another way to mix up your serve is to add some height to the ball. So your opponent is thinking about coming to the net. If it's a higher, slower ball and it's a deeper ball, it may push him back, and they may not think it may push them back and not allow them to come to the net. So here's my normal serve. Here's my higher, deeper serve. Ooh, a little out. Okay, normal serve, higher, deeper serve, or higher, slower serve. Normal serve, higher, slower serve. Now, this is not something you want to throw in all the time. This is something you want to throw in once in a while, just to keep your opponent thinking. Now, one more way, you can adjust. Another way you can adjust is serving to their forehand or their backhand. If you sense a weakness on one of the shots, serve it to that side more often, but not all the time, because then they're expecting it. You want to serve it to the other side once in a while. And then one more way, you can mess with the spin. So this will have a little bit of topspin on the ball. Sometimes you want to put more topspin on the ball. Okay, so it's more of a shot like so. And then sometimes you actually want to put a little backspin or even side spin. So here's a backspin shot, just to throw it out. And then here's my regular serve. Here's a backspin. And then the last one is a spin serve. Now, this is for a little bit more of an advanced player, but you can throw a spin serve in here. So here's my regular serve. It's going to have a little top spin. And then a spin serve. Okay, so we've gone over some technique on the serve. Now, actually, part of the technique and part of the grips in pickleball is the continental grip. I've gone over the grip in some of my other videos, but we're just going to go over briefly. So the continental grip is bevel 2. So it goes bevel 1's on top, bevel 2 is on the side, it's a small one, bevel 3, bevel 4. Most people won't be on bevel 5, so it doesn't matter. So it's 1, 2, 3, actually, and 4. 5 is all the way on the bottom. You want to be on bevel 2, which is a continental grip, and that's the handshake grip. So you want to put your paddle right in front of you and just act like you're shaking the hand. That will naturally put the knuckle right on bevel 2, and that's where you want to stay the whole time. So that's the grip. We went over the technique. We went over the take back. We went over the contact point. We went over the follow through. We just went over the grip, keeping the wrist and forearm really solid through the shot. We talked about mixing up your serve, going for a harder serve, a higher serve, sometimes even a spinnier serve, and even a slower serve can mix it up. Just anything different to what you've been doing on a regular basis. And then the last part is the ready position after you hit. Because you know that ball's coming back pretty quickly. You don't want to not be ready for the ball. So you want to stand behind the line, and normally you don't want to be in front of the line. You want to be behind the line, because it's always easier to move forward on a shot than it is to move back. So if we're here, and let's say the ball is going to bounce right here, we may have to move back, and that way we're not going to have our momentum moving forward. It's going to be moving back. So after you serve, it's a hit, it's a follow through, You may want to come through with this foot, and then what you're going to do with this foot is you're going to push back behind the line, and this is going to be your ready position. So your ready position is paddle in front of us, left hand on the throat, or left hand here if you have two hands on the backhand side. Our arms are slightly bent, knees flexed, and we're ready to go. So it's going to be just like this. It's hit, push, be ready. Now you notice how I'm coming through with this foot, and then I'm using this foot to brace myself and to get pushed back behind the line. And that's going to be our ready position. Then we decide what we're going to do. If it's a really deep shot, we may just have to play defense and then hopefully get back in the point. But if it's a really short ball, then we have the opportunity, because we're set and we're behind the line, to get moving to the net. So here's how it looks in real time. Ready position. Ready position. You notice how I'm about 2 or 3 feet behind the line. That's where we want to be. Okay, now let's say if I have a short ball, act like I'm going up for a short ball. So it's here, push behind the line. Here, I go for a short ball, and then I'm on my way to the net. So we went over a few things on the serve. We went over the grip, kind of middle of the video, continental grip. We went over the take back, the contact point, and the follow through. The bigger the take back you have, the more power you're going to have, but the harder the ball is to time. The contact point is going to give your ball the direction. The follow through is actually going to be the acceleration. You're going to be accelerating right through that contact point. That's the fastest part of the swing, is right through the contact point. After you're thinking about the grip, the take back, the contact point, and the follow through, then you're thinking about mixing your serve up, going for some harder ones, some softer ones, some spinnier ones, some deeper ones, even some shorter ones once in a while, just to mix it up. And then lastly, we're talking about hitting and being ready for the next ball in our ready position. And really, we want to be in our ready position every time our opponent makes contact with the ball, because really we don't know where the ball is going. So if we knew where the ball's going, and let's say I knew the ball's going over there, there's no reason I need to be in ready position. I just move over there and hit it. But I don't know where the ball's going, and that's why I need to be ready and set so I can move right or left or forward or back really quickly. So we went over a few tips today. I hope you get out there and try them. Thank you. Bye.